Thank you, Mrs. Cooper. Our next witness is Mr. Richard Stehly. Mr. Stehly is a principal of American Engineering Testing Incorporation located in St. Paul, Minnesota. And American Engineering Testing is an employee-owned corporation providing geotechnology and environmental consulting and testing services. Mr. Stehly, you'll be recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and distinguished members of the subcommittee. Thank you for taking up this issue. I believe it's very, very important, and thank you for inviting me to give testimony. As you noted, I am a principal and founder of American Engineering Testing. In December 1989, it was a small business. It was 14 people. We've had success. It's grown to about 250 people. I'm also an active member in the American Concrete Institute, and I'm its president this year. The Institute's 106 years old, and it's the world's knowledge center on concrete. We have 20,000 members, many of them small businesses, designers, ready-mix suppliers, material suppliers, laboratories. They're all interested in this issue. We have more than 100 chapters, a third of them outside the U.S. Now, we're a standards developing organization. We're probably best known for our document that Committee 318 generates. This is the building code requirements for structural concrete. That code is then adopted by the International Code Council in the International Building Code. States then adopt the code as their building code. These are the minimums that are required for building structures with concrete. Code is translated into Spanish as an official version. It's used throughout Central America, South America. It's also translated into Arabic, Chinese. The Iranians translated into Farsi. It's in Korean, Portuguese. It's used worldwide. I visited Vietnam in April. We're about to sign a memorandum of understanding with Vietnam that will allow them to use the code for their structural concrete code. The code contains references to using fly ash in making concrete. Concrete is very useful in making fly ash is very useful in making concrete. Makes it stronger, lasts longer, can make it easier to place, reduces cost. Now, Portland cement is the primary binder in concrete. It's energy intensive to make, about 5 million BTU to make a ton. Releases about a ton of CO2 when you make it. When we use fly ash, there's pretty much a direct substitution. You use a ton of fly ash, use a ton less of cement. Now, you'll remember in December in Denmark, at the UN Climate Summit, the President made a pledge to reduce CO2 emissions 2020, 17% over a 2005 emission level. Currently, the industry is about 40% below that target. It's because of the reduction in volume because of the economy. But going forward, construction will recover, and by using fly ash, we could stay under that target every year, including 2020. Now, I've provided you information from the U.S. Geologic Survey on cement use. They've been keeping information since about 1900. If you look, cement use peaked in 2005 at about 128 million ton. We produced about 100. We imported about 30. Currently, we're 40% under that peak, but as it recovers, as the economy recovers, construction recovers, it will grow. You can reduce the need to import cement by using fly ash. Lastly, there are no technical barriers to using more fly ash in concrete. The knowledge is there. It's in our documents. Fly ash is discussed in more than 100 of our technical documents. The barrier is acceptance. I've included in my written testimony an article by Nadine Post from the Engineering News Record. Now, she had the courage to write in April what's on concrete users' mind. She wants to know, is fly ash the next asbestos? I have seen no reply from the EPA. Managing fly ash's image is key to increasing acceptance. Now, as we know, EPA is considering a subtitle C type of designation for its regulation. We think if that should happen, use will decline. The many different audiences that have to assent to its use will consider it, and they will choose not to use it. These would be the generators. These would be the ready-mix suppliers. These would be the engineers of record for the buildings. These would be the contractors. They will look at it and they will turn away. Lastly, we are going to survey our industry. We're going to determine the impact of stigma. We'll have those results available. We will provide them to EPA. We'll provide them to you if you wish, and OMB. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stehly.